Welcome to Fiction Flux. Today, we're diving into an exciting new series called, What If? In this episode, we'll explore a fascinating scenario. What if All Might were actually Deku's biological father? How would this twist alter their relationship, the storyline, and the world of heroes as we know it? Let's not waste any more time, let's jump right in and uncover the possibilities. In a hospital in Japan, there was a green-haired woman who gave birth to a healthy baby boy. By her side was a man with strange but good-looking hair, and to her right was an older woman with a similar hairdo to hers. The woman looked to her husband. "Toshi, our baby boy is so beautiful," Inko said. "He has your eyes, and Toshinori's hair," the other woman said. "Can I hold him?" Toshinori asked, looking at the baby boy, with joy in his heart. Inko nodded at her husband and smiled. She then handed the baby boy over to Toshinori. The baby took Toshinori's hand and gently squeezed it. Toshinori smiled. "He is here," Toshinori said. "Ba ba ba," the boy said, repeating him. Toshinori then poked Izuku's nose as Izuku then bopped Toshinori in the nose as he squeezed it. The older woman chuckled. "Looks like he may inherit his father's strength in the future," she said. This woman was known as Nana Shimura, the hopeful hero, Paragon. She retired in order to spend more time with her daughter Inko. "What do you think you'll call him?" Nana asked. Inko and Toshinori then looked at each other and smiled. "I was thinking, Izuku," Inko said. Nana smiled at that name. "That's a beautiful name," Nana said. She hugged the both of them and smiled. 4 years have passed since that fateful day. Izuku was now an excited 4-year-old who admired heroes. From their costumes, to their quirks, basically everything. Today was his 4th birthday. The young boy was awakened by the voice of his grandmother. "Wake up, little guy," she said. The sheets were moved, revealing Izuku in a onesie of his favorite hero, All Might, the #1 hero in Japan. "Is it morning already, Grandma?" Izuku asked. Nana nodded and smiled at her grandson. "Certainly is," Nana said as she picked him up. "Are you excited about your quirk, little guy?" Izuku said. "When I get it, I'll be a great hero like All Might." "You sure will. What do you think your quirk will be like?" Nana asked him. I don't know. Maybe super speed or super strength. Or maybe, super nerd." Izuku said. "I think that's just Katsuki calling you a super nerd." Nana told him. "Yeah, he said it would be my hero name. Super nerd," Izuku said with enthusiasm. Nana couldn't help but chuckle at her grandson's enthusiasm. "Well, let's get some breakfast, your mama is cooking something special for ya." "Yay," Izuku said. Nana brought Izuku down to the kitchen where Toshinori and Inko were sitting. "Mornin' Papa and Mama, happy birthday little guy," Toshinori said. "Well, there's my little Izuku," Inko said as she pecked him on the cheek. Izuku giggled a bit and gave his mother a hug. "Are you excited to see what your quirk is gonna be?" asked Inko. "Yeah, I'm so excited I can explode," Izuku shouted. "Before that, I made you a little something for your special day," Inko said. She turned his attention to some All Might-shaped pancakes with chocolate chips on them. "Pancakes," Izuku said. "Yep, pancakes," Inko said with a smile. The 3 adults watched as Izuku chowed down on his food, making a bit of a mess. Inko giggled at her son. Now Izuku, you should slow down," Inko said with a smile. "Sorry Mama, I just really love your pancakes." "I know, sweetie, but please, slow down. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if your quirk is Saiyan." Inko noted. "Okay," Izuku said with a smile. After eating, Izuku got washed up and put on some regular clothes. Toshinori patted him on the head. "So are you ready to see what quirk you have?" Toshinori said. "Heck yay," Izuku said as he jumped in the air. However, something was wrong. He was still in the air. "Is this a freeze frame or are you actually floating?" Nana asked. I think I'm actually floating," Izuku said. Realization suddenly came to him. "Holy shiskabobs. I'm floating," Izuku shouted. After all of that, the family got in the car and drove to the hospital. There, met with their doctor, who was an old skinny man with rectangle glasses. "So you're here to discover this young man's superpower?" asked the doctor. "Yes sir," Inko said. "Well, since he's already shown signs of his quirk, I think I should just skip to how this power works. It's a basic telekinesis quirk, meaning that he can fly and attract and repulse objects. While not impressive at first, most of the best superheroes usually start off with a not-so-strong quirk but find multiple ways to use said quirk. I believe he'll be a great hero." Izuku could only sit there with an excited expression on his face. Now, young man, if you're truly thinking of becoming a hero, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Ya hear? Asked the doctor. Yay, Izuku replied. And always remember, a hero's job is never easy. With great power comes great responsibilities. The doctor told him. Yay, Izuku repeated. Now, get out there and be the hero you were meant to be. Yeah. At that, Izuku, Inko, Nana and Toshinori all walked out of the doctor's office, satisfied with their answer. Excelsior, said the doctor. Izuku and the family were on their way out of the Quirk clinics. Izuku saw his best friend Katsuki walking by. Deku scrub, Katsuki said greeting him. Never gonna stop calling me that? Izuku asked. Well, you still call me Kachan, so I say it's fair game. Katsuki told him. Hello Katsuki, Nana said as she rubbed his cheek. You gonna make it to Izuku's party today? Of course he is, he keeps reminding me about it 24/7, Mitsuki said. What do you think I am? An idiot, of course I'm gonna be there. I love how Auntie Inko makes katsudon. Katsuki shouted. If you love it so much you should learn to make it, Ramsey Jr., Mitsuki said with a chuckle. So what's Katsuki's quirk? Inko asked. Oh Katsuki can make little firecracks with his hands, Mitsuki said, pretty soon they'll be full-on explosions. And what about Izuku's quirk? What does he have? I'm a telepath, Izuku said. Not only can I attract and repel objects, but I can fly. Okay that's on me, I set the bar too low, Katsuki said. What do you mean, Kachan? Izuku asked. Oh, you know, me with an explosion quirk while you're over here able to get a better version of the black-haired old lady's quirk. Katsuki said. What do you mean? Never mind, Katsuki said. Now Katsuki don't be starting stuff ya brat. I'm not you old ha. Katsuki began but was interrupted by a bonk on the head. Don't call me an old hag. Then don't call me a brat. Katsuki shouted back sticking his tongue out. Some things never change, Nana said with a slight laugh. Nope, Inko said. Excuse us, Mitsuki said as she dragged Katsuki in the car. Inko, Izuku, Nana and Toshinori still heard Mitsuki and Katsuki bickering from outside the car as they drove off. Do you think he gets it from his mommy? Izuku asked. I don't think there's any doubt in mind. Toshinori said. He's probably gonna learn every naughty word in the book before he even starts preschool. Nana said. Well, I don't see how that's not possible. He reminds me of Mitsuki when we were in high school. She would constantly get into heated arguments with other people and I always had to calm her down. Inko went into a mutter state. Oh boy, there she goes. Izuku is probably gonna inherit that from his mama. Toshinori said. Making their way home, Inko, Toshinori and Izuku were greeted to the sight of a movers and packers truck right next to their door. Inko parked her car and the two made their way to meet the people who were moving there. A young girl with permanent blush marks on her face stepped out. Ooh, it's so big. A brown-haired man, who seemed like the girl's father, laughed at her statement and responded, yes, dear. Yes it is. A woman stepped out as well and joined what was probably her husband and daughter as they were admiring their new house. Inko walked up to the family of three. Why hello, are you moving here? A woman who looked like the little girl's mother stepped forward. Why, yes we are. I'm assuming you're our neighbors. The woman asked. Yes, Inko said, my name is Inko Yagi. This is my husband Toshinori, and my son Izuku. Nice to meet you all. I'm Sato Uraraka, this is my husband, Maruki and this is our little girl, Ochako. The woman named Sato said. The little girl known as Ochako approached the boy and greeted him with a smile. Hi, she said. Hello, Izuku said. Mr. Uraraka stepped forward. I'm warning you now boy, he said. Any funny business, any at all, and you will be answering to me. Izuku gulped at the thought. Mr. Uraraka's serious face suddenly turned to a goofy face. Just kidding, he said as he laughed. I can tell you two are going to be good friends. Izuku sighed in relief. Sato had a glare and bonked her husband on the head. How many times do I have to tell you to quit doing that? She said. Oh www. I was only joking, he said. And you scared him half to death. Sato said. Sorry about my daddy, he's kind of a goofball. She told Izuku. I'm Ochako Uraraka. I'm Izuku Yagi but you knew that. Yeah, I did. It's nice to meet you. Let's be friends, Ochako told him. That sounds wonderful, Inko said. By the way, I'm having a birthday party soon. Wanna come to it? Izuku asked her. That sounds delightful, Sato said. Later, the party was about to start. Izuku was helping out with the decorations for said party. He floated up and put the sign up. "How's this, Grandma?" "Perfect," Nana said. "You know, if hero work doesn't work out, you can always do house cleaning." "Mom," Inko said. "What? I'm just kidding." "Geez," Nana said. The Bakugos had arrived. Katsuki had a can of root beer and crossed out, "Root." "Alright, let's turn this shit up." Katsuki shouted. "Language, you little shit," Katsuki said. "Please, you too," Masaru said. "Oh, Katsuki, you can't get drunk on root beer." "That was a joke," Inko said. "Well, if I'm not drunk, then why do I keep falling?" Katsuki asked, still acting drunk. "I was kind of thinking because my quirk is a telekinesis quirk, I thought why not have a Harry Potter and All Might themed party." "It turns out, All Might is a Hufflepuff," Izuku said. "How is he a Hufflepuff?" Katsuki asked. "That's what I'm trying to figure out," Toshinori said. "Damn that quiz," he mumbled. "Well, I guess that makes me Gryffindor," Katsuki said. "You're Slytherin and you know it," Mitsuki told him. "I'm not." "Too," Mitsuki replied. "D2, Toshinori finished with a chuckle. "No more dad jokes or you're on the couch, mister," Inko warned. "Sorry," Toshinori said. "This is why you were put in Hufflepuff," Nana whispered. The door opened again, revealing Ochako and her parents. "Is this where the party is?" asked Maruki. "Sure is," Izuku said. "Yay. Wait, All Might is a Hufflepuff?" Ochako asked. "Apparently," Toshinori said. Nana laughed at this. "Yep, he's such a loyal pro-hero. Isn't he, Toshinori?" she asked. "Speaking of heroes, I got a surprise for you," Toshinori said, turning to Izuku. "A few heroes are making their way to the party as we speak." Izuku's eyes went wide with excitement. "Really? Who?" Izuku asked. The door opened, revealing a few people. A woman with purple hair, an elderly-looking woman, a guy with a weird hairdo, and a hobo. "Izuku, I trust you know these heroes?" Toshinori asked. "Of course I do," Izuku said, pointing at the woman, Nimari Kayama aka Midnight, Chiyoshu Zenji. Recovery Girl, Hazashi Yamada, Present Mike, and Shota Aizawa, Eraserman. Eraserhead actually, Aizawa said. Nimari bent down and smiled at the little boy. "Can you tell me how old you are, Izuku?" she asked. 1, 2, I'm 4, he said. Nimari then hugged the little boy, prepping him with kisses, earning a few giggles. "Must you do this with every child?" Aizawa asked. "You know I get this way with kids," Nimari said, turning back to Izuku and prepping him with kisses. "You can call me Auntie Nimari." "So, I guess that makes me Uncle Mike and this is Uncle Aizao," Hazashi said as Aizawa slugged him in the shoulder. "So what's this kid's quirk?" "It's obviously something related to the brain," Aizawa said, changing the subject. "Actually, I have a telekinesis quirk," said Izuku. "Sweetie, why don't you show them?" Inko suggested. "Oh, okay," Izuku said as he started floating as well as making other objects float towards him. The 4 adults were beyond shocked to see this. "Holy shit," Aizawa said. Recovery Girl hit him with her cane. "Language, you oaf," she said. Izuku turned to Nana and asked, "Grandma, what does shit mean?" "Well, it means," Nana started. "Mom," Inko shouted. After a bit of partying, Toshinori snuck away from the fun. Izuku noticed it. "Mama, where did Papa go?" "He's getting your last surprise," Inko said. They heard familiar triumphant laughter outside. With that, a giant man with blonde bunny hair barged through the door. "I am here to wish the birthday boy a happy birthday." "All Might," the 3 kids said. "Haha, yes, it is I." All Might said, "You must be Izuku." Izuku nodded his head. "Inko, how did you make this possible?" Mitsuki ached. "Let's just say, I may know All Might personally." Inko answered, "You're the greatest hero, and I wanna be just like you one day." Izuku said, "I can attract and repel objects and I can fly. I'm sure you'll be a great hero with that power one day." All Might said with a smile on his face, "That's quite a powerful quirk, my young Izuku." I didn't know what he was about to say, but I'm gonna get screwed up with this butter beer. Katsuki said, actually drunk. "Kachan, I think you have a drinking problem." Izuku told him, "I don't have a problem. I drink root beer or butter beer, I get drunk, no problem." Katsuki said, "All Might, you might as well tell them." Inko said, "What you see stays secret, kids." "Got it," Ochako said. All Might realized what she meant. He then poofed back to his normal form. The smoke cleared, revealing Toshinori. At this, Izuku looked rather shocked to see this. One minute he saw All Might, the other he saw his father. I think I've been drinking too much. Katsuki said. Papa, where did All Might go? Izuku asked. You see, All Might is your papa, Inko said. Welp, time for my hangover. Katsuki said as he fell over, pretending to pass out. Your friend is weird, Izuku. Ochako said. Yeah, I know, Izuku replied. But, All Might, is actually my father. That's a plot twist, isn't it? Nana said, and also, I was the one who trained him when he was starting out as a hero. This amazing news was a lot for Izuku. He fell back on the couch comically. Is he gonna be okay? Ochako asked. Yeah, just give him an hour or so. Inko said, just because he's the #1 hero's son doesn't mean he'll get lucky and Sadu. Sato is him with a book. Ochak sweetie, you stay with Izuku while I teach your dad not to tease kids. Okay, Ochako sweetheart, save me, Maruki said. Bye papa. All Might looked at Izuku as he slept on the couch, Ochako by his side patting his head. One day you'll make a great successor, he thought with a smile on his face. Izuku, Katsuki and Ochako were walking to preschool. Izuku was walking by Ochako as she was shy. So, is Ochako your girlfriend now? Katsuki asked. Well, she's a girl who's my friend. So, yeah, Izuku said. Katsuki only snickered. After a while the students all walked in, followed by the teacher. Okay students, we have a new student joining us. Come on in. A girl wearing a hat walked in. She had blondish hair, and brown eyes. Sup fam, she said. Fam, a student asked. I'm totes excited to be here. I hope we can all be fam here, said the new girl. What's your quirk dear? The teacher asked. She blew a mist. When she did, she was able to make 2 of herself. Is anyone else thinking her quirk is 420? No, just me. Okay, said a student. The day went on, and the new girl was trying to find a spot to sit at lunch. Katsuki noticed her. Hey yo, he said, wanna sit with us? Sure, the new girl answered. She took her spot near Katsuki, who was on the opposite side of Ochako and Izuku. So what's your name? Ochako asked. The name's Kami, Kami said. I'm Ochako Uraraka, this is my friend Izuku, and my other friend Katsuki. Sup, Katsuki said. So your quirk has to do with illusions? Izuku asked. Yeah, you could say that fam, Kami said with a smile. Wow, that's so cool, Izuku said. You could use that quirk to confuse villains while they remonologuing and make them think they're seeing something when in reality. He went into a muttering state. Does this usually happen? Kami asked. Yes, Katsuki said, but as of today you're part of the new group of friends. Kami smiled. 5 years later, Izuku, Katsuki, Kami, and Ochako became the best of friends growing up. They would usually spend their time talking about heroes, quirks, and about hero schools. They were at the playground. Katsuki was showing off his quirk while Izuku was reading a book about heroes. Their time was interrupted by a scream. Izuku looked to see the bullies picking on a kid. Come on, you really think you can be a hero with that kind of quirk, freak? Please, just leave me alone, said the bullied victim. Or what, you defenseless loser? You really think you can tell me, the great Nito Monoma, what to do? Hey, shouted Izuku. Don't worry, Deku, I get this, Katsuki said. Hey, Malfoy, it's Monoma, shouted Monoma. Yeah, whatever. Ever read Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Your mom's on page 1. Katsuki said. Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? Monoma shouted as he approached Katsuki. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Katsuki said, but Monoma kept approaching. Okay, you asked for it, Katsuki said as he threw an explosion at Monoma's nuts. At that, Monoma fell on the ground, gripping his nuts as he squealed in pain with tears rolling down his face. The trio then smelled something. Oh, he shit himself, Katsuki said. Ochako and Kami went to help the boy who was bullied. Hey, you okay? Izuku asked. Why yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, said the boy. He didn't hurt you too badly, did he? Izuku asked him. The little boy shook his head. Why was he bullying you in the first place? That's so not cool, fam, Kami said. For trying to talk to her, the boy said, pointing to a little girl who was by the swings. They all looked to see a girl with long black hair which was in a ponytail. He was picking on you, because you were talking to her? Katsuki asked. He nodded. Screw it, I'm getting a root beer, Katsuki said. Don't mind my friend's drinking problem, Izuku said. I don't have a problem, Deku, Katsuki said. Kachan, you had 3 root beers before you came to school. You have a problem, Izuku told him. So what's your name, fam? Kami asked. I'm Kenshi Jotaro, the named Kenshi said. I have the feeling that was a JoJo reference. Ochako said. I think I'll start calling you Jojo from now on, Izuku said. Hey, I like that, Kenshi said. So, what's your quirk? Izuku asked him. Kenshi was about to tell them, but he was hesitant. Come on, tell us, Kami said, shaking Kenshi. Kami, you're scaring him, Ochako said. My quirk, lets me use video game items. That is awesome, fam, Kami shouted. Wait, really? Kenshi asked. Yeah, you could use any type of video game items you want. Maybe even learn spells from any type of role-playing game. Izuku said. You would probably put All Might to shame if he learned the spell from Morrowind. Ochako said. Okay, let's not get crazy. Izuku said. Gosh, I never got this much praise about my quirk, Kenshi admitted. As a matter of fact, imagine him being able to shout like in Skyrim. But then again, he said using video game items. Maybe if, Izuku then went into a muttering storm. There he goes again, everyone else said. Well, my dad thinks my quirk is a curse. Your dad thinks your quirk is a curse? Ochako asked, shocked. Your quirk isn't a curse. God was probably playing a bunch of video games when he made you and that's how you got your quirk. Kami said, but my dad didn't want me to be a hero. He wants me to study business. Then get that Waba Jack out and use it on him. He'll probably turn into a chicken or maybe an sweet roll. Katsuki said with a root beer in his hand, pretending to be drunk. Kenshi laughed at that statement. Luckily I live with my mom. She's divorced, whatever that means. Well, that's good. Anyway, why don't you go and talk with that girl over there while Malfoy is still screaming like a little bitch? Katsuki said. Kenshi slowly and shyly walked up to the girl who was casually swinging on the swing set. Hello, he said. The girl stopped and noticed him. Hi there. How are you doing? Kenshi asked, still stuttering. Are you okay? The girl asked. Oh no. I'm fine, it's just, Kenshi said, trying to start a conversation. Could it be that you're nervous? The girl asked. Why yeah, Kenshi said. I've heard that when someone is nervous about meeting new friends, it's likely that they never had friends before or they have something troubling them back at home. Could this be the case? The girl asked. How did you? I've read quite a bit of books. I'm kinda a bookworm, said the girl. I'm Momo, by the way. Momo Yaoyorozu. I'm Kenshi. Well, wanna be friends? Friends? Momo nodded her head. Like, we play games, we do whatever friends do and so on. She said. Well, I do like video games, Kenshi admitted. Oh, cool, I like to play video games whenever I'm not reading. Momo told him. What's your quirk? Well, I can make video game items and use them, Kenshi said. Yours? Oh, you can make video game items. That's almost like mine, only, not video game items but real life items. It's almost like you're my soulmate. Momo told him. Kenshi turned red after hearing that. Katsuki spat out his root beer and fell to the floor. Laughing. Kachan, what's a soulmate? Izuku asked. Oh, for God's sake, Deku, how are you so dense? Kenshi and Momo were continuing to chat it up. Ms. Yaoyorozu, there you are, said someone. It was a butler who worked for Yaoyorozu Enterprises. Your piano lesson is about to start soon, we should hurry. Okay, just give me a moment, Momo said. She wrote something down on a piece of paper. It was a username to a game called Sword Art Online. So we can chat more, she said with a smile. Farewell for now. Until then, Yaoyorozu, Kenshi said. Oh, and please call me Momo, she said. After our talk I trust you enough to call you my friend. Kenshi stood there appalled. What just happened? Not only did he manage to make a few friends, but he even found out that the girl he tried to talk to also plays the same game that he does. He seems to be much happier than before. Ochako said. I'm gonna need to teach him how to verbally assault people. Katsuki said. Bullies mainly. All Might looked at his son talking with his friends. He then smiled to himself. It's time, he said. And that's it for today. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.